Hi there, would you like to sign my petition?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Thanks.
Hey guys, Peter from FUTO here. What I want to talk about today is not something that is directly involved with FUTO, but it's something that we very much care about here. That is the Stop Killing Games campaign. All of us here are gamers, obviously. The first real game I ever played was probably Quake 2 on my dad's Windows 95, and I know I'm showing my age with that one. Aaron, our founder, and I became friends over our love of the Halo series. Well, you know, the Halo series before Halo 4, the Bungie ones. We also probably reference Deus Ex every day here at the office.
Oh my God, Daddy!
What a shame.
He can't really be. There must be something we can do.
He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
Whether you're a hardcore or casual gamer or not a gamer at all, you can't deny that the video game industry is massive. But there's been a disturbing anti-consumer trend in this industry. It used to be that if you bought a disc of the game, you owned it. You could play it offline, you could share it with your friends, and you could even resell it. But then that ownership started to slip away from the consumers. Companies put awful DRM into their games to prevent piracy, which didn't work very well to prevent piracy, it just punished the paying customers. Games, even single-player games, forced you to always be connected to the internet, and games went totally digital. You can still buy some games on disc, but you often find that when you buy what you think is a disc, you just get a download code. So why is this a problem? Well, it means that our ownership of our games is disappearing. Publishers can force you to always be connected to their servers to play their games. And then when the publisher doesn't feel like keeping the servers running, you can no longer play the games that you paid for. Come on, that's just wrong. Ross Scott, a friend of FUTO's, started his crusade to protect consumer rights for gamers years ago when Ubisoft effectively killed their game The Crew. He couldn't gain much traction here in the US, but he discovered that if he could get 1 million signatures as part of a citizens' initiative in the EU, then EU lawmakers would have to at least take a look at it and maybe consider taking action. All what's being asked is that if a game is a live service game or is online only, then after publishers stop supporting the game, they'll have to ensure that it can still exist for consumers post-mortem. That means that if a single-player game requires a connection to a server to play, maybe allow it to operate in an offline mode. Actually, those games should always allow for offline play, but I digress. For multiplayer and live service games, he's asking that the publishers allow for private and community servers to keep the games alive. Let the audiences do the work to maintain the games. And hey, community servers can be great. I know my boss is a big fan of Turtle WoW. He literally talks about it probably once a week. We think that it's a pretty reasonable ask. We also think that legislators should protect people from companies that engage in anti-consumer practices. The thing is, if EU legislators require game publishers to enact these end-of-life measures, then that will benefit gamers worldwide. Here's the thing. The initiative needs more than 1 million signatures to pass. It has 1 million signatures now, which is absolutely huge. But the reality is that a number of those signatures are going to be invalidated for one reason or another. So to ensure that it has over 1 million signatures after all the signatures have been verified, we should shoot for another 300,000, just to be safe. So if you're an EU resident, please sign the petition and get everyone you know to sign it. If you're not an EU resident, spread the word as best you can. The memes in support of it have been pretty good. There's also a petition for the UK. I've linked both petitions in the description below. Let's fight against these big corporations that don't want us to own anything.